Bristol Motor Speedway, the world's fastest half mile. And despite straightaways barely 200 yards long, it's a very fast racetrack. The secret is in the variable banking, the 300-yard corners. You may not have much room to accelerate off one corner before shutting down for the next. But with steep banking, up to 30 degrees, there's not much loss of speed when you get there. And all the concrete racing surface provides great traction. With 153,000 seats arrayed in grandstands all the way around the surface, Bristol looks more like a football stadium on steroids than a typical racetrack. Veteran drivers have described racing at this East Tennessee Emporium as the equivalent of flying a fighter plane in a gymnasium. So it's not surprising that every NASCAR Cup Series race draws a massive crowd. Still, the best seat in the house is the one behind the wheel, but it's sure not a relaxing one, with laps ticking by at less than 15 seconds apiece. Oh, and the compact nature of the track means there's infield pits on both the front and back straightaways, so drivers have that added complication to deal with. Opened for competition in 1961, Bristol Motor Speedway has had a number of remodels over the years, and several owners as well. It's been under its current owner, Speedway Motorsports, that Bristol Motor Speedway has enjoyed its greatest period of growth. Tonight, it's race number 4, the ProSim Racing Alliance, and it's next on Track Limits Network. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the virtual Bristol Motor Speedway. I'm Steve Singer with the Track Limits Network, bringing you race number 4, the ProSim Racing Alliance, here from Bristol, Tennessee. Race details tonight, 150 laps the race distance. Temperature is about 78 degrees Fahrenheit right now, so not going to be too concerned about things getting too hot out here. Maybe out on the racetrack, we'll see. Drivers have a full fuel load at 100%, unlimited tire changes to worry about. They don't need to make any decisions on how many to use and when to use them. That's going to be up to them as far as rights or lefts, or none at all. No fast repairs, speaking of none at all, and 3 attempts at a green-white checkered finish if it comes down to it. Practice just about wrapped up here. A few minutes left in the session. Let's look at the best times thus far. Fastest, 14.628. The 70 is Steve Whitmore. That's getting it around here at Bristol. Pretty strong field of trucks here tonight. Looks like 25 entries to compete here this evening. Had a pretty chaotic race last week on the mile, the Magic Mile out at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. See if things are much different here tonight at Bristol, here on the all-concrete surface, a half mile. And they're really moving around this place, though. Again, 30-degree banking in portions of the corner. It's down a little bit over the years after the reconfiguration, or I guess you could say they ground down the track and ruined it, depending on who you ask. 36 degrees of banking prior to that, the steepest track on the schedule at the time, but 30 degrees will still get it done. Less than a minute in the session before the black and red flags drop. We'll jump right into qualifying. Qualifying set for 2 laps or 5 minutes, whatever expires first. Single truck session. Of course, those new to the iRacing service can jump in and ask the question of, well, if they're all qualifying single lap, single truck, or 2 laps, single truck, how do they get that done when they're on this small racetrack? Well, it's not real life, folks, in case you didn't know that, but it's a simulation. So we can run 25 different qualifying sessions effectively all at the same time while giving the full track to each individual driver. Don't need to worry about traffic out there, at least not on the oval tracks. Road course racing is done a little differently, but we don't have to worry about that tonight. Truck still a little loose in the middle of the corner. Thomas McMullen demonstrating that off turn 2. The session in the books. And we'll immediately get into qualifying here. We'll see who takes to the track first. And looks like Will Jones will be the first driver to make an attempt. The 46 machine, Bradford Aeroworks entry. First lap for Will Jones, 15.398. Likely a throwaway lap, just working that truck topside, building some heat and momentum. He'll finish his second lap. Where does Jones land? P1, 14.79. A good lap for Will Jones. No one's really shocked there. Bobby Hamilton Jr. about to wrap up lap 2 for himself. 14.9 the first time around. Second lap, second quick. 14.817 for the 25. Derek Welch in the 1. A little frustrated after last week's effort at New Hampshire. Back here to give it another go. Welch across the stripe. Second quick, lap 1. Moving. 14.694. Suppose we'll put the tower up so we can keep a closer eye on things. Whitmore now fastest with a 65. We'll see if Derek can pick it up here off of 4. A little wiggle, crosses the line. And 14.72. Not a great year, not a perfect lap either. Welch is going to stay on the outside pole for the time being. Now David Bradford takes the green. Bradford with some new colors this week. David Bradford with the full throttle true blue scheme. Little lift off of 4. That's going to hurt both laps. 14.98. 8th quick, and he loses it in 1 and 2. Bradford goes around and just kisses the inside wall. That's going to do it. 14.986, the best that David's going to be able to muster here. Check on Will Hewitt. Will out of Mayfield, New York. 14.75. Will Hewitt fourth quick on lap 1. Looking for another 10th. If he could get it, he could park that thing on the front row. Looked good. Did he do it? No. Outside pole. 6.76 for Will Hewitt. Front row, but not the spot he was aiming for. Lap 1 for Mark Truxell. Just over 15 seconds. Off of turn 4 in the gas. Right up to the fence. Does he improve? 9th quick, 14.874 for Mark Truxell. Rodney Roberts now about to take the green. Got that S4 guy, Zach Millett, in the chat. Road to 1,000 subs. It's referring to our subscriber count here at Track Limits. Just under 1,000 here. I think we're at 947 right now, so we need a few more. Crack that 1,000 subscriber mark as Roberts goes a 14.77 top 5 time here in qualifying. One more lap to go, half one to be specific. A little loose out of turn 4, but Roberts crosses the line, completes it, and he goes P1 with a 6.55. Beats out Whitmore by 2/1,000ths of a second. What a lap. About a minute left in the session. Chris Klein, a 15.018 first lap. Klein way up the racetrack to finish things up here at 73, though. That would have been a lightning quick lap early on in the session, but it's not even enough for top 5. Still P6 for Chris Klein. Eddie Rose in the Track Bar Media number 88 out of Track Bar Motorsports. $15.1 for Eddie Rose, first lap. Oh, real loose off of 4, and does it end in time? Looks like the 15-1-9 is going to stand for Eddie Rose as the session comes to a close. So qualifying in the books, let's jump right to it. Our starting grid on the pole position with a lap time of 14.655 seconds. It's the 9 of Rodney Roberts. Outside front row from Bobby Hamilton Racing, it's the number 70. Missed it by 1/1000th of a second. It's Steve Whitmore. Starting in the second row, it's the 33 of Will Hewitt with Derek Welch to his right elbow. Row number 3, it's AJ Rogers and Chris Klein. Row 4, Josh Ingram and Will Jones. Starting in the fifth row, it's Bobby Hamilton Jr. in the number 25 and Matt Nicholson. Starting 11th, it'll be the 5 HLC Motorsports entry of Mark Truxell with Alan DeFries, teammate, the number 71 to his outside. Starting 13th, it's the 13 of Bradford Aeroworks driver David Bradford. Frank Griffith from Stinger Motorsports will start 14th. Vincent Short in the 15 will start 15th. 16th starter, it's Thomas McMullen. Peyton Wagoner in the 8 will start 17th. Eddie Rose 18th. 19th goes to Mark Collins. 20th, Chris Hockley. 21st starter, it's Dominic Bettini in the 49. Keenan Kimber in the 65 will start 22nd. Aaron Longworth in the 42 is 23rd. 24th goes to Jason Steptoe. And last but not least, shotgun on the field in the number 86, it's Colt Ansley. Colt may be here as a watcher. He's got to learn to click that watch button. Otherwise, he's going to keep showing up. Either way, 24, 25 trucks. What's one less? No big deal. Couple more still to grid here. I think they're pulling in right now. We're going to have 2 pace laps before we get this one underway. Field pulls away here from the starting grid. Race info again tonight, 150 laps the race distance. Drivers have unlimited tires, a full fuel load at 100%, no fast repairs, and we will make 3 attempts at a green-white checkered finish if it comes down to it. One more lap around will be green flag racing next time by. We got Zach Millett in the chat, of course, also says over under 10 cautions. 150 laps here. I hope it's going to be under. It's tough to say. I haven't seen a truck race here since they've updated the tire model, and the handling characteristics quite different on these machines now that that has happened. So we'll see how it goes. I know it was a handful at New Hampshire. Hopefully it's not the case here tonight, but I'm going to go under. Green flag is in the air. We're off and running from Bristol. Whitmore Roberts brings them to the line as he barrel into turn number 1. First lap quickly in the books. Whitmore powers around the outside, takes over the top spot. Roberts ducks into second, but not giving up the attack. Keeps it on the bottom of the racetrack. Thought he had a moment to get alongside, but tucks in behind the 70. Back into 3 and 4. Car length, truck length that is, between the top 2. Truck maybe 2, back to Will Hewitt in 3rd. Oh, one loose. Derek Welch. Luck is not going well for Welch this week. Derek all the way around into the fence, maybe got collected. In fact, I don't see any damage, but it was in front of traffic, so the caution does come out. Try to get a replay of that here for you in just a moment. Here we go. This is just a moment ago. This is going into 1. Drove it down to the bottom of the racetrack. Maybe too much rear brake. Truck goes around, doesn't get collected, thankfully, for the 1. So Major problems averted for the 1, but he's going to have to lose some track position as he's shown back in 23rd now. Second to last car in the pack. Again, Colt Ansley classified, not in this race. So with this yellow, again, we're only 5 laps in here, so I cannot expect anybody to make a pit stop at this point. Even to top off fuel. Again, a full fuel load here at Bristol. It's only a half mile. They can go a few laps. Quite a few laps, that is, on a full tank of fuel. Field works behind the iRacing pace car. Lights still on, indicating we got at least another lap left. Should get the 1 to go signal across the stripe here. We'll see if the lights go out. And there we have it. So next time by, lap 8 will begin, and that'll be in anger, under green, at speed. Now, Whitmore was the leader, I believe, at the time of caution. It looks like he has opted to restart to the outside, forcing the 9 of Roberts down to the bottom. Which in this league, that is the right of the leader at the restart. I don't believe you get the choice on the initial start, but consecutive restarts, you can choose top or bottom, whatever the preferred lane is. Kind of early to pick the top side, but we'll see if it pays off. Pace car is in, Barney with the green in hand, and we're racing again from Bristol. Whitmore got a great jump on the restart. Roberts caught sleeping as Hewitt right there taking a peek as well. He wants the second spot, but he's battling with A.J. Rogers in the meantime. Rogers in the blue and white number 57 top side. Will Hewitt, that gray, looks like in purple number 33. Hewitt drops back now to the 4th spot as A.J. Rogers gets on by, but we have a battle for the race lead here yet again. Roberts has reeled Whitmore back in. It's about a truck length and a half between the 70 and the 9, but a big wiggle for Roberts in the middle of 3 and 4. Keeps his foot in it, but Roberts is going to drag it out here to about 3 truck lengths back to P2. Oh, the 9, Roberts gets loose in the middle of the corner and goes around. Doesn't go all the way around. Might have tail slapped the safer barrier. Loses a bunch of ground here. Back to the 8th and 9th position now as Alan DeFries gets to the inside. Saw it happen live on the bumper cam from the race leader, Whitmore. Roberts now trying to regroup. He's got David Bradford to his inside. He's also got Josh Ingram in the 56 behind. Roberts got his hands full again, and now somebody else does as well. Didn't catch who that was. Was it Peyton Wagoner? No. Looks like the 55 of Matt Nicholson having a moment as well once again, and the 33 of Will Hewitt's off. Hewitt facing the wrong way here at start-finish. Trying to get going, and there's the caution as Will Hewitt does lose a lap. I don't know if he'll get that back as the yellow came out before the leader got there. Kind of freezes the field, though Will was the trigger for this caution. Let's go back and take a look. So Hewitt in front of the 46 of Will Jones. Jones was coming up through the field in a hurry. But is this what we've seen already a couple of times? We saw Derek Welch lose it on his own mid-corner. This is on exit, though. Will Hewitt a little bit low on the exit. I mean, he had the 46 up top, but you get to the power. just a tick too hard and is very easy to spin that truck out. That's just what happened there to the 33. Noses it into the infield or in a pit wall. We don't get a caution right away, which kind of hurt Will. So he ends up having to back it up onto the racetrack. But that's what triggers the caution, is he's up on the track here, and the race leaders were coming in a hurry. Hewitt might have had some product spillage there. Makes things a little slippery on exit. It gets better for entry, but what do I know? So finish up caution number 2 here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Lights stay lit behind the pace car, so one more time around, we may get the one to go. Should give us the restart at lap 21. So again, Whitmore is going to take the top for the restart. This time he'll have A.J. Rogers to his inside. Rodney Roberts, near miss accident. Put him back to about the 8th position here for this restart. Gives him a chance to regroup though. Had a lot of pace. As long as he can figure out the handling on that truck, he should be a contender before this one's out.
Green flag.
Whitmore in the gas, gets the jump. A.J. Rogers caught sleeping. We're going to have to watch that battle for second with Chris Klein looking to the outside. Will Jones also waiting for an opportunity. Jones up the racetrack to the high side. Bobby Hamilton Jr. in tow. Here comes the 9 of Roberts looking for position on the 25. Roberts up the track. DeFries now taking a look to the inside of the 9. Keep an eye on here of Roberts. He's still having some issues keeping that truck from stepping out. Meanwhile, Whitmore onto a half-second advantage over the 51 of Chris Klein. One truck around behind. It's the 55. Big time trouble here with multiple drivers. Looks like Thomas McMullen got a piece as well. Mark Truxell held up a bit by this as well. I don't think these were the original culprits, though. This might have been just trying to avoid. Pretty sure I saw the 55 of Nicholson go around. Indeed, he does have damage and smoke pouring out of that vehicle. Left front fender hanging on by a thread. Nicholson's going to stay out. Well, let's see if we can get a look, see what really triggered this initially. You see the 55 of Nicholson up the track in the high line, loses it a little bit and comes down the track. Derek Welch right there. They make contact. Nicholson tries to hang on to it on exit. He's going to come down the track. He won't hit anybody else, but you see Thomas McMullen trying to avoid the 0-2 there. He tank slaps a bit here on the front stretch, gets collected by a couple other trucks. Not too terrible as far as contact goes. Truxell just has to stop to let these guys get squared away. "27 laps in, 3 cautions to this point. Albert Anderson jumping in, giving me the reminder, because hell, I even forget to mention it. 12 watching and only 2 likes. Don't forget to click the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. He says it perfectly. Help us out, click the like button, it's free to do. Pushes the video out to a little bit wider audience, maybe some fresh eyeballs that don't know about the ProSim Racing Alliance or don't know about Track Limits Network. Helps us both, it's free to do. Again, click that subscribe or follow button, help us out there as well. Trying to get to 1,000 subscribers this year. And again, we do not charge to subscribe, just click it. Field doubled back up. Whitmore is going to drop to the bottom now. This might be a strategy for tires, knowing he can get away, but he gets such a good jump here on the restart, it doesn't really matter. He's got 4 truck length lead already down into turns 1 and 2. Whitmore, a half-second advantage over Chris Klein down the back. Hamilton Jr. to the inside of Will Jones. Doesn't seem like the bottom wants to work, though. Top lane seems to be the place to be unless you're Whitmore and you can kind of pick and choose. David Bradford takes a look to the inside on Bobby Hamilton Jr. as well. Bradford may have it. He is clear. He stays low, though. Gives Bobby some room up top. One of the few drivers we've seen been able to make it work and stick on the bottom of the racetrack. Bradford now up into P6, looking for more. Meanwhile, Rodney Roberts, through his early struggles, still hanging on to the 5th spot here in behind Will Jones. Making a move, takes a peek, nowhere to go with it. Oh, big wiggle again for the 9 of Roberts. That's going to cost him more track position. He held on to it yet again. I don't know how many times he's going to get away with that without another problem. It's closed David Bradford right to the tailgate of the 9. Roberts goes up the track. Bradford sticks it to the bottom again. It made it work with Bobby Hamilton Jr., but will it work this time? Tire temperatures going up. Tire wear certainly going up. Most drivers have yet to make a pit stop to this point. Bradford unable to stay close, tucked up to Roberts as the 9 is starting to drive away again. A couple of truck lengths between himself and Bradford. Up in the 2nd spot, though, battle is on between Rogers and Chris Klein. Klein made a move for the 2nd spot, but Rogers hangs on to it. And the caution is out.
Did you hear any static? Like somebody was keying up on your radio just a few minutes ago?
Not sure if it was Mark Truxell or not. Let's see if we can figure this one out. Here's Truxell leaving the pits. No, wasn't him. Caution came out as he left pit lane. Looks like in the middle of 1 and 2, we see one truck spin sideways. I still don't have a good eyeball on who it is. Should be able to figure it out here, though. Ah, it was the 50 truck. Okay. So Jason Steptoe. Reason for our 4th caution. Let's get a look here again. Didn't have any help, it doesn't look. No, top of the racetrack. Should be on throttle here. Truck just steps out enough. Race admin's quick to throw a yellow on that one as he was in traffic. Didn't hit anything, thankfully, but a quick caution here at Bristol. And we got Lori Vaught in the chat. Says, hey, Steve. Also, Albert, you are not the boss of me. Yeah, I read it. I just don't know what it's all about. So you got to fill us in on the backstory, Lori. Unless she's talking about the like and subscribe. I think she already did that, though, since we cover her league on Wednesdays. So Whitmore's going to restart him again with Rogers to the outside. Chris Klein and Will Jones, Rodney Roberts, David Bradford, Bobby Jr., Keenan Kimber, Peyton Wagoner, and Dominic Bettini, the top 10. Pace car is in. Green flag back in the air. Whitmore on the gas. A good jump this time, but a good reaction. That's the word we're looking for by H.A. Rogers. Rogers now side by side with Chris Klein for the second spot. Rogers will have to run down the back as that high side provides a little more momentum. Back to the line, Whitmore leads it. Rogers takes the second spot, holds the second spot, finally clear Chris Klein, but now Klein's got company and Will Jones. Jones looking to the outside. Roberts looking in behind the 51, going to jump topside as well, see if he can hang Chris Klein on the bottom, but no, Klein shuffles his way up in between the two trucks. Now at the bottom of the racetrack, David Bradford looking for position on Roberts as well. Meanwhile, the 65 of Kimber into the mix as well. Trucks are all over the racetrack here, trying to keep them in the racetrack. Many drivers having problems with the truck stepping out, getting a little loose. Oh, Roberts real loose again. That might have been induced by some contact from the 65, and Roberts spins up the racetrack. We've got more trouble. The 54, I think, went with it. No, it was somebody else. Peyton Wagoner in the 8. Both drivers, a little bit of a tandem spin. They just touched the wall a bit. This was down in turn number 1, I believe, just a lap ago. No caution for it, though, as everybody was able to drive away, but it just proves these trucks are a handful tonight. Whitmore still out in front here, 4 truck lengths, maybe 3 back to the 57 of Rogers. Will Jones running third. He's back a full second from the race lead, but again, don't count him out. We're only 1/3 distance here at Bristol. Plenty to go. Some more connection issues for Keenan Kimber. We've seen this creep up here a few times this season. Klein working around the outside of Kimber. Again, showing the difference in speed just by the lane you choose. In behind this battle, Rodney Roberts still in the 6th position. Still hanging on to that spot. Still having to battle the handling on that race truck. Chris Hockley, though, into the picture. He's up into the 7th position, up 13. Started 20th here today. Hockley closing in on Roberts here. May have this position soon. Hockley out of Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania. Hockley's got the spot, takes it away from Roberts. Roberts now back to P7. David Bradford going to work his way back through here. See a battle between him and the 9 here in just a moment. the 8 down low on the racetrack yet again. Peyton Wagoner with trouble. Slides to the bottom of the racetrack. We stay green. Coming back up to speed. Field going by topside here. Looks like we'll get away with this one as well. And caution comes out now. We'll have to look at that one in a minute here. Don't know what's the issue with that one. We'll see what happened here with the 8. He's on the bottom of the racetrack, off the pace, drops it down low. I don't know if he's just trying to get out of the way or what he's trying to achieve here, but it doesn't work. This truck gets crossed up on him on the bottom of the racetrack. He spins, stays low. That's what prevented the yellow from coming out, but we're under yellow now. I'm not sure. This might be our competition caution. I didn't get an actual lap this week, but they have been known to do at least one. Pit stop's underway. Rogers will bring him down. Whitmore to the inside. No. Whitmore going to enter pit lane second. There was a pass for the lead there at some point. So the majority of the field on pit road. Most of them for the first time tonight. Gonna take fuel, 4 tires, get back at it. So that's going to put Keenan Kimber in the race lead. Now, Kimber did not pit and has yet to pit until right now. Stayed out to get some laps led here, at least the one. That's worth some points. He's going to have to back it up, though. Missed his pit stalls. It's that number 1 stall. Kimber's going to head back out, albeit near the back of the pack. So, 64 laps on the board here. Whitmore likely to be the race leader when we get back green. We do have one truck just ahead of him. That's the 5 of Mark Truxell. He'll get a wave around here, I think, in the 1 to go in just a moment. Makes the left to hit pit lane. We're getting ready to go back racing. Green flag in the air, and we're off and running. Whitmore maintains the top spot, about 2, maybe 3 tenths back to Rogers. Rogers closes the gap on exit there pretty considerably. Whitmore drives it up the racetrack, trying to build some more momentum. Rogers hot on his trail, though. A truck length and a half, maybe 2 back to the 57. It's still about 3 tenths, but he is closing, and he is showing some speed. Last lap for Rogers, about a tenth faster than the race leader. We'll see if he can get there and complete this pass. And caution out again. Alan DeFries in this one in the 50 trying to lock her down. Mark Truxell the same.
They're going to drop down some oil.
DeFries and Ingram, I believe, both involved in this. Let's take a look at it. Watch the 71, the white monster truck, little tank slap in the middle of the corner. We've seen it a lot from multiple drivers tonight. If there was no traffic, it'd have been all right, but the 56 of Ingram, nowhere to go. Hits him right in the door. Then Jason Steptoe coming in, locks her down, doesn't hit anybody, nor does Truxell or Rose. "71 laps complete here from Bristol. Working caution number 6. Ingram will come to pit road here, try to get some repairs made on that 56 machine. Vincent Short not having a great night, shown in the 19th position. This was earlier in the latter stages of the 57, 58 lap mark. Does he lose it all by himself too? Ah, no, this is part of that earlier incident. Didn't realize Vincent was involved in that as well. Took a pretty hard shot into the pit wall with Wagoner. And maybe another incident here with Short recently. Or is this just some checking up? Looks like some checking up. No issue there. So we're set for another restart here. Lights are still on in the pace car, so not going back green just yet. Get some of these wave arounds squared away. Pace car is in.
Green flag.
Green flag in the air. Whitmore out with the jump yet again. Puts almost 3/10 on Rogers. Meanwhile, Will Jones closing in on second place. Chris Klein there alongside Jones, though. This could be a battle that slows down his progress. Jones, though, not giving up the attack. Little loose on exit of turn 4. 46 still to the inside of Chris Klein. Peyton Wagoner still slow on the bottom of the racetrack. Might have had another issue. Kept us under green, however. Side-by-side battle for third. We almost had a side-by-side battle for the race lead. Rogers closing it again. Whitmore pushing as hard as he can. Gets the outside wall a bit. Sparks fly. Rogers now to the inside. The nose out in front off turn 4. Coming to the stripe. What a finish that would have been. But no, we still got lots of racing to go. They bang doors into turn 1. Whitmore goes up the track. Gets the wall. Will Jones taking evasive action, but Rogers takes over the race lead. Don't know if he slid up the track or if the 70 came down. Either way, they made contact in the middle. Whitmore up the track, gets into the fence, and he's back into the 5th position.
Caution.
And caution on the Speedway again.
Together, bud.
Frank Griffith with a problem. Albert Anderson in the chat. Always love the broadcast, Steve. Let's go Team NTRL. Time to get some sleep and get ready for snow tomorrow. Man, I wish we were getting snow up here in western New York. There's nothing on the ground, at least not in Rochester. But thanks for watching, Albert. Have a good night. Let's see if we can figure out what happened here to Griffith just a moment ago. Put us under caution again. Hard to see what triggered it, but obviously the 54 trying to save the truck. We'll try to switch cameras here and try that one again. Maybe a little too much wheel, a little too much brake. Does not appear that there's any contact there. The 49 definitely tried to pinch Griffith down as low as possible. Griffith does a good job just sliding it through the corner, though. I don't think he ends up hitting anything. Continues on. So as you see, we're formed up, double file, getting ready to go again. Chris Klein will be to the inside. I believe Rogers is the control truck, the 57. Again, choosing the top. That seems to be the preferred lane for the race leaders on these restarts tonight. We'll see who fires off first. It should be the 57, I believe. Chris Klein will have to react.
Green flag.
There it is. Rogers fires off. Slow reaction out of Chris Klein. In fact, Will Jones almost beats him to the stripe. Battle for second is on. Oh, big run for Will Jones. Gets a piece of the wall on exit, but keeps it down. And oh, big cross up by Chris Klein. And same for 46 of Will Jones. Jones up the track on his lid. Slides down and gets collected by Eddie Rose. Puts him back on all fours. Monster incident for Will Jones. That's going to take him out of this. You saw it happen live. Let's get a better peek at it, though. So we're going to back it up a little bit further here. Watch the 51 of Chris Klein here. Just gets a little crossed up on the entry to this corner. But he has to save it. So what happens? He goes up the racetrack. You turn into the skid. But he gets a little tiny bit of Will Jones there. And it puts him in a bit of a yaw. And a big overcorrect by Jones sends him up the track into the safer barrier and on his side. But with the banking here at Bristol, that's almost like just being on your lid. He's going to come down the track, roll onto his roof a little bit, and then get collected again. I think Eddie Rose comes in here. Yeah, here's the 88. Vincent Short right there. I don't know if he gets a piece as well. No, it kind of chucks Will out of the way. But it does put the 46 back on all fours. Doesn't matter too much, though. Will tow back to pit lane, and his opportunity, at least, to win tonight has gone out the window. So 90 laps in the books here at Bristol. Getting ready for yet another restart. Rogers and Hockley will be on the front row now. And you see the 9 of Roberts back in that second row. Him and David Bradford both not out of this yet.
Green flag.
There it is, green flag back in the air. We're racing yet again from Bristol. Rogers with the jump, Hockley with an okay reaction. Roberts right there, just a few feet off the tailgate of the 3. Drives back to the back bumper. Off turn number 2, taking a peek to the inside, thought about 3 wide, thought better of it. Bradford goes up the racetrack, Kimber a car length behind. Roberts thought he had an opportunity yet again to take the spot from the 3 of Hockley. Hockley hanging on to P2, but David Bradford looking to the outside. He wants the second spot. Way up the racetrack. Again, that's the long way around, but look at the run. Look at how much more speed the 13 has down the straight, albeit short straights, but enough. Hockley hangs on to the second spot, a half second behind the race lead. We still watch this fight for that position. Hockley's got it, but the caution's out again. In more trouble. Multiple trucks involved here. Alan DeFree's going to work his way through. Frank Griffith, Mark Collins also involved. He's got some pretty significant nose damage. He's going to tow back to pit lane. Griffith sits there on the front stretch trying to get looped around, but he's going to lose a lap as well. So 9th caution of the night. I don't know what it is about Bristol, though, that cautions here don't feel as painful as they do at some other places. Maybe for the drivers in real life, but as far as the broadcast booth is concerned, you kind of expect it here at Bristol, but the caution periods don't last all that long either. All right, let's take a gander, shall we? This one's already happening, so let's see if I can back it up. Big Jumbotron in the middle of the racetrack is not helping things. Looks like Griffith went up, not quite clear. No, he's okay here. In behind the 42 of Aaron Longworth, or ahead of the 42, that is. Does this happen ahead? I think it does. Maybe it's DeFreeze? Yep. This is 71 to DeFreeze. Full speed here. And Allen, just the same thing we've seen so many drivers do here tonight, and then everybody else wrecks after the fact. Allen didn't collect anybody in that. I think this was just a reaction out of everybody trying to avoid. Still trying to get a better angle on this. So you see the white truck there, DeFreeze. He's going to spin a little bit, but it looks really to be a single truck incident. Things happen after that happens to him. We'll watch Mark Collins, Frank Griffith. Here we go. Griffith goes up the track, cuts off to 42, just trying to avoid. And there you have it. Mark Collins thought he had it cleared, but then Griffith comes down the track. So we're ready to restart again. You see the number of lead lap trucks is dwindling quickly. May have a longer green flag run here. Base car is in. Rogers will fire off first, and he does. Gets right to that restart zone and gets going. And as we expected, battle for second. Roberts now to the outside of Hockley, side by side off 2. Roberts takes the spot away. Remember the trouble he had early on. He was running in the top 2 when he had his problems, but now he's taken second away from Hockley. Hockley battling back to the inside. Hockley can't get clear. Bottom, not the place to be. The momentum is on the top. Roberts gets by again, puts some distance between himself and Hockley. Keeps it up top side. He'll have a little more of a run again off of turn number 2. Carries that down the back. Now Hockley's got to worry about Bradford, but the caution is out again. And he rose step-toe facing the wrong way. Watch it here, the 50, Jason Steptoe. Does he lose it on his own? He does. So many drivers tonight, same story. I don't know if it's just too hard of a turn in, if the rear end of the truck's just getting that light, too much rear brake. There's so many opportunities. Ooh, and Longworth comes in and just drills him. Puts us under yellow for the 10th time tonight. We're going to take a quick side-by-side break. I know we're under caution, but we really haven't had a long enough green flag period to try and pull this one off. So we'll go side-by-side. If the restart happens to occur in that time, just stay close here because you won't miss a moment of it. We'll be back after this.
I met Marco Scarza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Green flag. Caution. Did a good job, bud. Tell me what you got quickly.
Back at Bristol Motor Speedway, 110 laps in the books, working caution number 11 here at the Speedway. Coming out very quickly after the restart, involving some fast drivers, Roberts, Bettini, and Rogers. Let's see if we can get a look at this. Roberts, a similar incident that he had earlier on in this race, just got alongside Chris Klein and up the track he went. Truck stepped out, got loose, and he could not hang on. Whitmore sneaks through. I didn't see what happened here with Rogers. Here's the 57. He's showing 7th currently. Or did he just slow down? Oh, pace car got there quick. Now, so it looks like Rogers is okay. Just going awful slow there. The system told us that he had a crash. That's the only reason we checked that, but it's just because he was going so slow, the system thought he crashed. He's trying to get woed up so the pace car could catch him, so pit lane could open. That's going to jumble the field up a little bit here as Thomas McMullen and Eddie Rose will be your top two. So we're ready for a restart. They're going to restart here. Now, McMullen pit last at lap 62. We're on lap 112 right now, so it's been a bit. Granted, we've had a bunch of cautions, so tires aren't terribly worn, but pace will be noticeable. Eddie Rose with 40-lap newer tires than McMullen. Same is true with Vincent Short. Bobby Hamilton Jr. about a lap newer than that. It's newer and newer as you work your way back through the field. We'll see how this plays out. Faster guys are deeper in the pack. Slower trucks as far as the tires are concerned up front. Green flag in the air. McMullen on the gas. Oh, big wiggle for Bobby Jr. Up the track, saves it, but takes the top spot away. Kimber's going to look to the inside of McMullen as well, take the second position, and gets alongside the 25 as well. Into turn number 3. Kimber on the bottom, and the caution comes out again. 49 of Bettini around again here, puts us under caution for the 12th time tonight. Well, let's see if we can unpack what happened here to the 49. Klein was to the inside. Same thing yet again. Truck just steps out on exit. Late entry to exit is where we're seeing a lot of these trucks lose control tonight. Minimal incident for the 49, but still enough to put us under yellow for the 12th time tonight. Bobby Jr. has managed to hang on to that top spot over the 65 of Keenan Kimber. Now, Kimber has only got 6 lap fresher tires than Bobby. See how this pays off here on the next restart. So there it is. Lights are off on the pace car. Again, front row is going to be Bobby Jr. and Keenan Kimber. Bobby's also going to opt for the top line here. Row 2, it'll be Thomas McMullen and Josh Ingram. Pace car hits pit road. And Bobby on the gas right away, leaves Kimber in the dust. Again, the battle for second. Ingram and Kimber battling out. Ingram gets the wall. Bobby Jr. still with the lead. Kimber closing it back in, though. About 2/10 now. It's 1/10, 10th and a half in the middle of the corner. This is all going to be defined by the line, I think. Kimber with a little bit fresher tires underneath him as he goes to the inside for the top spot. Off turn number 4, gets his nose out in front. Bobby may have led that lap still. Kimber not giving up, still to the inside. Now gets clear. Bobby wiggles big time. Doesn't get the wall, though. Saves the truck, but loses a lot of momentum. Now A.J. Rogers back in the mix. Bobby back up in the wall. Rogers now takes the second spot. Now, Rogers made a pit stop also, lap 109, so about 6 lap fresher tires under the 57. Here comes Chris Klein, same tire life as well. You're seeing the difference of 3 miles. That's it, 3 miles on the tires, being a little bit slower than the rest of these guys out ahead of the 25. Bobby in the fence again, smacking the right rear tail on the safer barrier, but still managing to stay ahead of the 51. Bobby up the track again, a little scrape. We got a battle for the race lead. Kimber under fire now. A.J. Rogers taking a look. Just about 25 laps to go. It will be the next time across start finish. Kimber out in front, Rogers second, Klein third. Bradford now up into the 4th position. So he takes the spot from Bobby Jr. Jr. under fire now with Joshua Ingram. Ingram in the 56. Again, 6 lap fresher tires for the 56. Steve Whitmore in the 7th spot. Remember, he was so dominant early on. It's hard to think that clean air makes that much of a difference in a place like Bristol, but it certainly has played a part. Whitmore back in P7. He's got 2 trucks out ahead, 3 now with the lap truck in the wall. The 50 slows his momentum quite a bit. Relieves some pressure from Bobby Jr. As the 56 of Ingram had to check up as well, but he's back on the attack and almost makes contact off of 4, but he gets the wall instead. Opens the door for Whitmore. The 70 goes to the bottom. Now Whitmore up in front of Ingram. He's up now into the 6th position, looking for the top 5 here with 21 laps to go. Gets to the inside, but Bobby's got the run out of turn 4. How long will he be able to hold off the 70 of Steve Whitmore? Whitmore made his pit stop at lap 115, so he's got the best tires, almost the best tires in the top 10. A couple others with the exception of Rodney Roberts and Eddie Rose, only 1 lap newer than the 70. 20 laps to go. Kimber, Rogers, Klein, Bradford, and Hamilton Jr., your top 5. Whitmore hungry for more. Vincent Short in the fence. Kimber still out in front. A.J. Rogers trying to find a way around here. 15 laps to go. 18 laps to go, that is. Rogers is there. A little bit quicker that time. About 700. 3/4 of a tenth faster than Kimber, but a little moment there out of the corner. Loses some ground. Kimber maintaining that top lane here as the laps continue to wind down. A little loose again for Rogers, trying to hang on to the truck. Longworth, the 42, slow the bottom of the racetrack. Now some lap traffic into the mix. They're 3 wide, trying to get clear of it. Vincent Short up top, a little bit slower than the rest of the field. Now Klein has got an opportunity here with that lap traffic. Chris Klein to the inside for the 2nd spot with 14 laps to go. This is perfect for Kimber. Kimber able to run away here almost a full second now back to Rogers, and the time is running out. Less than 14 to go. Chris Klein applying pressure still for the 2nd spot. Little wiggle out of the 51 off turn 4. puts a truck length between himself and second place, but quickly takes it back. Lays some rubber through the exit at turn 2. Down the backstretch again. Rogers up the racetrack. Klein just about the same lane, not quite as high, but still pressuring the 57, causing him to lose the time here to the race leader. 11 and a half laps to go here. Rogers looking for a solution here. Do I let him go or do we continue to fight? Kimber, in the meantime, loving what's going on out the rearview mirror of his number 65. As he continues to put ground on second place. It's 1.4 seconds here as Rogers gets the wall on exit. Klein a little moment as well. Ten laps to go from Bristol Motor Speedway. Kimber comfortably out in front. Losing connection, though. That's been a common problem for the 65 here tonight and in weeks past. Hopefully it hangs on long enough to get to the end of this thing. Now 9 laps remain. Second spot is A.J. Rogers. David Bradford, though, attacking Chris Klein. Bradford now to the inside in his number 13 True Blue machine. And here comes Whitmore into the fray. This is the battle to watch right now. This is for third spot. Klein's got it for now. Bradford trying to work his way forward. As many cautions as we've had tonight, I think Bradford wouldn't mind one more. Give him another opportunity at a restart. A little loose on exit at turn 4. Still working low on the racetrack. Now slides up on exit. Whitmore gets through, takes the spot from Bradford. He's up into the 4th spot. 6 laps remain. Keenan Kimber still out to a 1.2 second advantage over A.J. Rogers. I got to say it, unless there's a problem for the leader or a caution, I don't think Rogers can catch him. So working through some traffic. Longworth tried to get out of the way, guessed low, and ended up almost making contact with Rogers. Kimber still out in front now, 1.4. The 9 of Roberts, who was so fast early on, now a lap truck. Whitmore now side by side with Klein, and Roberts goes around again, and the caution comes out with 4 to go.
Fellas, we have got a very, very difficult official this week, so make sure we're minding our P's and Q's.
So Rodney Roberts having a moment yet again, puts us under our 13th caution of the night, and it comes very late and can dramatically change the outcome of this race. Let's take a look. So we're watching the 9 here of Rodney Roberts. He just gets into the corner in front of second place Rogers and loses the back end of the truck. Straightens it back out, but the yellow comes out anyway. So with that, it'll put Keenan Kimber and A.J. Rogers on the front row for the restart. I don't see anybody pitting of any consequence, at least at the front of the field. Hockley and Eddie Rose do come down. They're going to take a set of tires, I would imagine. Again, with, I think, only 9 trucks on the lead lap. I don't think that's a bad call, really. It puts them in a position where they're going to have superior grip throughout the rest of this. And again, we do have the opportunity. 3 green, white, checkered finishes if necessary. So they can be out there, Eddie Rose and Hockley, that is, on fresh tires. They say they pick up a couple on this restart. Even if that's all they get, they're really not any better, or I'm sorry, any worse off than they were prior to the pit stop. But if we get another green, white checker, or a couple of them for that matter, they really could be in a good position here before this one's over. It's a gamble. But it's a low-loss gamble, really. So we're going to get looks like a natural green-white checkered out of this. This will not count towards our allotment, but we're going to get the green flag, and then the next lap will be the final lap and then the checkered flag. Of course, if the caution comes out before the white, we'll line it up and we'll go overtime here. Some extra laps to be added. We'll do that up to 3 times if we need to. Front row is Rogers on the inside. Up top, Keenan Kimber. He gets the jump. He fires off.
Green flag.
Battle for second. Whitmore gets to the inside of Rogers. If anybody can do it, the 70 might be there, but Rogers has been tough to handle, but he gets there to the inside of the race leader. Coming to start finish, white flag in the air, final lap from Bristol. Who's going to win it? Can Kimber hold off the 70, who was so strong early on in this race? He gets a nose to the inside of the 65, but they're in 3 and 4 for the final time. It's going to be a drag race to start finish. Out of turn number 4, contact is made, and the 65 of Kimber wins it. What a run. Then the 56 of Ingram comes through. He was not happy, it seems, with the 13 of Bradford. Keenan Kimber taking the race win here at Bristol. Celebrations complete. Maybe not. Little connection issue again for the 65, but at this point it doesn't make much difference. We're going to step aside here, get a break out of the way. We'll be back with our top 3 finishers after this. Stay with us.
Basket can't defend. He's got the outside line for the second part, and he can't hold on. Going the long way around. We're going to be 3 wide for the lead as they all come to the line. Who is going to take it in the end?
And here comes Lockwood. He's going to make the move to the outside. Quinn tries to force him off a little bit, but there he goes. It's going to be side by side through turn 1.
Will he be able to cover him off? He does. Weaving back to the left-hand side. Reynolds is trying everything. The kitchen sink is being thrown at it.
They're leaning on each other. Coming into turn number 3. It's going to be a drag race through 3 and 4. Coming back to the line. Here comes Frisch on the bottom. Bouchard's going to hold the inside. Tries to be the late breaker here. They're going to be side by side through the final chicane. They bang doors, but keep it clean.
As they're still 4 wide on the run down into the back straightaway. Demerit's looking for a line as well. What is going on in Michigan?
Novak into the fence. They're still beating and banging. And to the line.
He is much faster coming through there. Is there damage on Challenger? Abramitis is ahead. There's going to be a race to the line. Who is going to get it?
Back at Bristol Motor Speedway, Keenan Kimber takes the race win. Let's see if we can get a word to the driver of the number 65. Pull him up into the broadcast booth and get a word with Keenan Kimber. Keenan, it's Steve in the booth. You got me? And we may have lost Keenan. Well, we're going to back out of that. We're going to pull up our runner-up, Steve Whitmore, first and get a word with him. We'll talk to Steve Whitmore, our runner-up, as we lost Keenan. But Steve, it's Steve in the booth. You got me?
I got you.
Congratulations, man. A second-place finish. Started outside pole. You were dominant early. Worked your way back through this thing, and you were right there at the very bitter end. A little too little, little too late. What was the difference there at the end? Just a couple more laps, you think?
Well, I got into the wall. I believe AJ doored me. I don't know. I'd have to go back and see what happened. But I got into the wall off of one of the corners, and I had about 2 minutes and 30 seconds worth of repairs. That's why you see me keep going down pit road and not getting tires. I was trying to get that repair all taken care of. And then the last time I went down pit road, I got 4 tires. So I think I had the freshest tires on of anyone out front. So that was my advantage.
Well, it certainly paid off. I mean, you were fast regardless of the damage. I mean, you had to work your way back through there anyway. You kept the truck on the lead lap. But again, what was really that difference? You were shot out of a cannon there late. Of course, the fresh tires aiding in that. But I think just one more lap, was that probably all the difference it would have made?
I think had I gotten to the outside, that would have been the big difference right there, because I had to let off too much and slow down too much to take the inside.
Well, with that said, still a second place running. It's not a bad showing by any means. To improve one more spot would have been a win. So as long as you didn't go backwards, that's a bonus. So nicely done job there. We look forward now for a couple of weeks. We get a break off here. We'll be at Kansas Speedway here. I think it's the 19th of January. How do you feel about your odds there?
Everyone better be put on notice. We took a win last week at Loudon. It came in second place today. Kansas, we're pretty good there too. So look out.
Whitmore looking confident here at the end of this race here at Bristol. Steve, congratulations again. But before we let you go, is there anyone you want to shout out to?
Just shout out to my regular league, Ohio Sim Racing. That's about it. I thank Bobby Hamilton Racing as well for allowing me to run with them.
All right, Steve. Well, congratulations again. Thanks for chatting with us. Good luck in a couple of weeks.
Thank you.
Steve Whitmore, your runner-up, and I think we do have Keenan Kimber back in the broadcast booth. We'll pull the driver of the 65 up into the booth. There we go. Keenan, it's Steve in the booth. You got me? Now he's gone again. I don't know what's going on here, but we'll do what we did a minute ago. We'll switch over to David Bradford and get our third place finisher, and we'll talk to David. David, it's Steve in the broadcast booth. You got us?
Hey, Steve, I got you, man.
David, congratulations. Before we go too far, we're trying to pull Keenan up in the booth, but every time we do, he disappears. So I don't know if he needs any privileges. But in the meantime, we'll talk to you about your run. 13th place start here tonight, a third place finish.
He's got like a PlayStation symbol next to his name, so I'm not sure.
Well, I don't know what's going on. But either way, we'll talk to you. Where was I? 13th place start, third place finish. Wasn't without your share of struggles here. We saw the truck sideways and in the fence a little bit here tonight. Walk us through your race, and especially that issue where you got the right rear up into the wall.
Well, wasn't really trying to. I got a little help with that one, I think, if that's the one you're referring to. I got rear-ended on one of these starts and just someone not paying attention. That's something we're really working on in the league. It's just, if we could get everybody driving the way the top 15 guys do, then we'll really have something here, and the league will grow a whole bunch. But tonight wasn't too bad. I knew I wasn't going to be very good in qualifying. I just wasn't very good with my takeoff speed around here. For some reason, I just could not, I don't know if I was just scared or what it was, but I just could not get enough out of it qualifying. So I knew I was going to be, I was hoping somewhere 5th to 10th, but then when I saw 13th, I was like, man, I'm right in the hornet's nest. But luckily, worked through there pretty quick. I think I could have had something for these guys on the long run, but clean air so much, man. Even here, it's tough to overcome.
Well, it was a job well done either way. It's kind of what we're used to seeing out of the driver, the number 13, working your way through the field and always being in position when these races come down to their conclusion. But we look forward here to a couple of weeks, get some time off before we roll into Kansas Speedway. I know that's the type of racing that you're pretty damn good at. How do you feel about your chances to finally pick up that win at Kansas in a couple of weeks?
I'm feeling actually really good about Kansas. Like you said, it's more my style. These short tracks I kind of struggle at. Them flat 1 miles like New Hampshire, I struggle. But these banked 1.5 miles are really, bread and butter for me. So hopefully I'll get me and Will up there so we can have a good team and get the rest of the Toyotas up there so we can take that Manufacturer's Cup home.
All right, David. Well, congratulations. Another top 3 finish here at Bristol. Who do you want to thank before I let you go?
Of course, I got to thank Will. You know, he helped me out with some setup tips right before we went green there. You know, really kind of helped out the truck a little bit, got it driving a little bit better the way I wanted it to. Just messing with the steering ratio and stuff like that. So appreciate that one on him. Got to thank my dad and of course my uncle for watching. I know they love watching this, and you do. You know, they've watched me go from this league to other leagues, and they watch the other broadcasts, and man, there's just nothing that compares to what you do compared to the other ones, man. Like, they really enjoy watching it when you do it.
Well, man, I appreciate the kind words there. Tell them thanks for me, man. It's always good to hear. I'm my worst critic, so I don't know if I believe them, but I'll take it, I guess.
All right, Steve, I'll work on getting Kimber up there, see what we can do.
All right, David, talk to you, man. Congrats.
Thank you.
It's David Bradford, your third place finisher. We're going to try this again here. We're going to give Kimber another opportunity. Try and get him into the booth. Keenan Kimber, it's Steve with Track Limits. Do you got us this time?
Yes, sir. I got you.
Third time's the charm. Keenan, congratulations, man. A 22nd starting place tonight. You drove that thing to the win, man. Walk us through your night. Was a win even in the forefront of your mind tonight?
Not at all. Not at all. I was just hoping to finish the race on the lead lap. But once we got into the race, got it going, realized that we had some pace. So I just started chipping away at it. Got lucky a few times, missed some wrecks, and was there at the end.
You had to hold off some real hard chargers here tonight. AJ Rogers for a time, and then at the very end, the 70 is Steve Whitmore. You guys came to blows there out of turn number 4, but you still made it to the stripe first, man. Walk us through that final lap. What was going through your mind with the 70 behind you on newer tires?
Yeah, it was really stressful. I think if he had one more lap, he would have had me. So it was just about keeping it up top and making sure I had the momentum coming off the corner. And then coming off of 4, I felt a little touch, and I decided to keep my foot in, and it wasn't no reason to let off.
Well, it drove you to victory lane, man. Congratulations on picking up the win here at Bristol. Tough place to win regardless of the skill level. You got it done, man. Congratulations. We look forward to a race in a couple of weeks here at Kansas Speedway. Certainly much different style racing than what we saw here tonight at Bristol. How do you feel about a solid finish here in a couple of weeks?
I'm definitely have Kansas circled. I'm excited. I like Kansas a lot. So I'm hoping to come away with the top 5 there.
All right, Keenan. Well, congratulations on the win yet again. Who do you want to thank before I let you go?
I want to thank my team owner, Rodney. Got my buddies, Aaron, Peyton, Dominic, and Jason. They were really important. Helped me out throughout the week trying to practice and everything.
All right, Keenan. Well, again, congratulations. Thanks for talking to us, man. Good luck in a couple of weeks.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
It's Keenan Kimber, your race winner here at Bristol. It's going to do it for the interview portion of tonight's broadcast. Let's try and get our race results to work this time. I know we had some struggles with it last week, but we got it working again. So there it is. We talked to our top 3. Keenan Kimber, Steve Whitmore, and David Bradford, your top 3 finishers here at Bristol. Josh Ingram was 4th. AJ Rogers drove it back up to a 5th place finish. Solid run for Chris Klein. Another solid run for Eddie Rose. I'm sure he was waiting for another caution to come out, but it didn't come to fruition. Still a good run for him. Chris Hockley was 8th. Bobby Hamilton Jr. was 9th. Aaron Longworth finished in the 10th spot. Rodney Roberts was 11th. Vincent Short finished to a 12th place position. Not a bad run for Vince considering the struggles he had here tonight. It's just proof. You don't give up. You can still salvage a solid night. Jason Steptoe was 13th. 14th place finisher. Well, that went to Mark Truxell. Talking about a guy that never gives up. Dominic Bettini was 15th. Thomas McMullen finishes in the 16th spot. 17th went to Alan DeFries. Frank Griffith was 18th. Mark Collins 19th. Will Jones 20th. Peyton Wagoner was 21st. Derek Welch, another tough night, 22nd. Will Hewitt was 23rd. Matt Nicholson 24th. And Colt Ansley didn't take the green tonight. He'll finish 25th officially. With that, that's our race results. Thank you guys all for tuning in. If you haven't already done so, go ahead and give the broadcast a thumbs up. Those likes really do make a difference. It really expands the audience of tonight's broadcast into some fresh faces, fresh eyeballs that may not know about ProSim Racing Alliance or Track Limits Network for that matter. It helps us across the board, and it's free to do. Also, click that follow or subscribe button whenever it shows up. I forget what it says. Yeah, I don't look at it much, I'll be honest. But we're trying to push on to 1,000 subscribers. That's how many we've got to to follow this brand over the years, and it has been a couple of years at this point. We started off, obviously, with SCAR, and here we are at the end of this thing with ProSim Racing Alliance. We're trying to grow. The more eyeballs that we get to follow us, the better for everybody. It's just a win-win across the board. So you haven't already done it. Again, if you haven't already done it, I got to stress that, because each and every week, I'll get a couple of new ones, and then they'll go away because they forgot that they already clicked it. I don't know if that's just a YouTube thing or what, but either way, hope I'm not making anybody too mad about that. But thanks for watching, everybody. Again, congratulations to Keenan Kimber taking the race win here tonight. I'm Steve Singer with Track Limits Network. We'll see you guys at the next one. Thanks for watching.